Raising your vibration is pretty much very easy. The hard part is maintaining that higher vibrational state for a consistent period of time until this new vibration cements into your subconscious mind and eventually cements into your reality. Now, basically, what that means is you have been run by certain patterns for years, decades, and when you try to shift your vibrational state, shifting your state is easy. It's way easier than you think. It's way easier than you can ever imagine because all you have to do in order to raise your vibrational state, is to have more fun. Because what is high vibration? High vibration is you basically experiencing the high vibrational emotions such as love, joy, happiness, peace, enlightenment. When you're having more fun, you're thinking less. And when you're thinking less, you're basically not worrying so much. And when you're not worrying, you're not experiencing these lower vibrational emotions such as anger, shame, apathy, envy. It may be guilt. All these are lower level emotions that you won't experience when you are not worrying so much and just living in the moment. It's only when you think so much, plan so much, worry about the future, crib about the past, complain about people, who broke your heart. Let's say your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend who really broke your heart, and you completely, it feels normal for you to complain about them. And suddenly you're shifting your state, you're raising your vibrational state, you are embodying this fun, carefree living, you're having more fun, thinking less, you are in this higher vibrational state. But then it becomes a problem for you to maintain this, for you to sustain this. Now you have this jumps, you are feeling low vibe, and suddenly you're high vibe, you're having more fun. But your subconscious mind, your thought patterns kind of creep back up. They're like, wait, this is not normal. You having fun is not normal because you have programmed your mind for such a long time in order to think the same negative patterns, in order to just crib and complain about people, about things, about relationships, about opportunities, and also make toxic behavior normal. So all this was pretty, normal for your subconscious mind. And now you're suddenly living in this high vibe. It really feels unfamiliar to your subconscious mind. It feels unfamiliar to your brain basically, because your brain feels normal when you are feeling immense sadness, when you are worrying about so much stuff. And suddenly when you just raise your vibrational state, it feels okay, this is a nice change. But when you're trying to cement this, when you're trying to maintain this, of course there's going to be internal resistance that comes up from deep within. All you have to do at that moment is to just stay in course. You have to reprogram your subconscious mind into thinking, into believing that this is the new normal. Just breaking old patterns and creating new patterns. Just deleting all the files, all the programming, and reprogramming your subconscious mind. It's basically, imagine 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you've just programmed your mind into thinking about all the bad things in life. And suddenly when you're trying to shift the course into this whole new positive thinking, consciously on the external, you're going to be, happy thinking, happy living, positive living. But internally, your inner voice will say something like, wait, what the hell is wrong with you? It has been so familiar in order to operate from this place of sadness, from this place of anxiety, guilt, apathy, shame. And now you're just shifting course. You think I'm a fool? Who are you trying to fool? Now, this inner voice has to be connected with and reprogrammed. So what that basically means is you have to come in terms with the old patterns, the old belief systems, and shed them, break them apart, and then shift internally. That's done by reprogramming your subconscious mind. Now, this does not happen within a day. Sometimes it takes even months and years, but it is definitely worth it because every single day you get 1, 2, 3% better, and it's basically way easier for you to live in this higher vibrational state. Now, this is also pretty easy. The hard part is maintaining this higher vibrational state when your external environment, when your surroundings are not supporting it. It's basically you'll be walking around life and you'll be like, why is my reality trying its best to trigger the living shit out of me? It's like everywhere you're going, you are being reminded of the old patterns, the old toxic relationships, the old toxic behavior that you experienced, and your old toxic thinking patterns. It's like you did the inner work, you shifted internally, you made peace with your inner demons, you reprogrammed your subconscious mind, but wherever you go, it's like your external world is kind of trying its best to trigger you, to trigger all these old toxic patterns, belief systems, and basically sometimes even bring in people from your past in order to trigger you, just so you're put back into place. Because when you shift internally, right, and it's basically even your surroundings start to shift. The people you mingle with, even they kind of shift. Sometimes you even lose friends. So basically what you're doing is you're altering reality. It sounds weird, but this is definitely true. When you are altering reality, there is this anomaly in this plane of existence, and reality likes balance. When you are shifting internally and changing things, when you're changing your frequency and raising your vibrational state, what you are doing, you are causing an anomaly in reality. That's why, when you stop drinking, like me, like I stopped drinking, suddenly my friends were gone, because every friend that I had at that moment were all alcoholic, drug addicts, pot addicts, and that's the only thing we shared in common. Once I stopped this phase of addiction and got over all my inner vices, all my inner demons, it's like I lost all these friends and my entire external reality kind of shifted. I got new friends who are not into drugs or not into alcohol. And that's a very good example, and it's very similar here. If you shift internally, let's say you had pretty toxic relationships in the past, and you had pretty toxic thinking, negative thinking patterns. When you shift internally and raise your vibrational state, your reality will kind of mirror itself in order to match this. Now that process takes a while. It is not immediate. Now you may shift, but it'll take longer for your reality to kind of catch up to this internal shift that you have had. So all you have to do is stay persistent, because now you have caused an anomaly, and balancing forces from the universe are going to come and test you out. Now this has been spoken in one of my favorite books, such as Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zealand. In this book, Vadim Zealand talks about how balancing forces come in order to kind of stop you from causing an anomaly in the universe. Because when you are shifting on the internal, when you're shifting states from the internal, you create a small anomaly, and this is a disruption in how things generally flow, because you're changing patterns, you're breaking curses, you're breaking your old negative thinkings, and this is kind of shifting your external reality. And for a while it is not in balance, because the reality has to catch up to you. All right, and when this process is taking place, your life will basically start falling apart. Basically you'll face a lot of chaos. So many things will go out of control, and that moment you have to stay in the higher vibrational state. You have to stay in state, because all the universe is trying to understand is testing you if you will fall back into your old ways, your old patterns, the old negative ways of thinking, the old toxic behaviors. And when you are persistent and you don't emotionally react to these old patterns, to these triggers that is causing you to fall back to these old patterns, that is when this new reality is kind of cemented. And when it's cemented, this is your new vibration. Your new vibrational state is, let's say, love. Your entire friend circle is going to change. They're going to shift to accommodate this new internal shift that you have experienced on the inside. Because when you shift internally, things will also shift on the external. But in order for the shift to be permanent, you have to stay in this higher vibrational state. And that is why you see many people win the lottery. They win $5 million, $10 million. But then a couple of years later, they end up in the same position where they started, because they had a jump, in their external reality, and their internal state did not really match this external state. And that is when they kind of fell back to their old patterns, to their old ways of living. And this is the same thing that happens with toxic relationships too. People go to a healthy relationship, and all of a sudden, it's all going well and nice. They just shift back to the toxic ex, or they turn this relationship into a toxic one, or they just break up from this relationship. It's like their internal reality is not catching up with this external thing, and their external reality is not matching with their internal self-belief, core belief, and their subconscious belief. Trust me, you cannot escape your subconscious mind. All you have to do is reprogram your subconscious mind in order to help you to achieve whatever your desired goal is. Once you shift internally, your external will also start to mirror itself. But then there's a process where it takes a while for the external to cement itself, to accommodate your internal shift or your internal reality. And in that process, you'll be triggered a lot. You'll be, tested. There's going to be a lot of chaos. Even your whole life may fall apart. But all you have to do is stay persistent, stay in that higher vibrational state. And no matter what external situations, external circumstances are brought upon you, positive, negative, chaotic, all you have to do is stay in state and not emotionally react. And when you don't emotionally react, you basically win. And when you win, your external reality will mirror your internal world, and it'll just cement, and you will start living in a very high vibrational frequency. And this will be very normal. This will be your new normal. Your old normal was reacting to chaos, being emotionally reactive to every small minor trigger that happens in your daily waking life, worrying about things. And now when you shift internally and not react to the external things that are collapsing in your reality, and if you stay in your state, it'll basically cement itself. And now this is your new normal. Your new normal is love. Everywhere you go, you feel love, you express love, and everyone that's around you kind of embodies love, and you guys basically connect better. So all you have to do is stay on course, stay persistent, stay in your state, no matter what, because that is the hardest spot, irrespective of what the external world or the external reality is trying to show you, trigger you, or cause chaos in your life. If you don't lose hope, don't lose faith, and stay in this higher vibrational state, eventually you will shift your external reality that matches your internal state. So hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.